Saiyan Army. So before this video begins, we are going to be doing a Q&A later on in the week. So comment your questions down below. What you're watching on your screen now is week 3 of my Saiyan Strength and Aesthetics program. This is 8 sets of 4 reps with 260 pounds on the bar. Nothing real special about this workout. 260 pounds actually felt pretty damn light, so you'll notice later on in the video I start doing pause reps. I'm just keeping my form nice and tight, and let's just get into this video because it's going to be a longer topic. And this video is titled like how to increase your bench press. And I think the main thing, there's tons of ways to increase your bench press, but the number one thing, or the number one tip I can give you guys, is fix your form. It's really rare that I'm in the gym and I see someone where I'm like, damn, that's some clean ass form. It's really rare that I see someone with just everything that looks good and with good form. I'm gonna go through my setup and hopefully you guys can fix your form and adjust your form to your needs. Again, do not copy my form because this is my form. You guys don't have the same limb lengths, the same leverages, or the same body as me. So chances are my form isn't gonna work for all of you guys. So this is how I set up for my bench press. First thing I set up is my feet. So I like to take a wider stance. So I like my legs to be a little further out and nice and wide. As you can see right here in this clip, you can see where my hips are. I align it right with the edge of the rack, and I just open up from there and I turn my feet slightly out, okay? For you can do it also like powerlifter style where they tuck it in and get on their toes. You can stay flat-footed and tuck it in. You can turn your feet slightly out, slightly more in. Really just play around with your feet. What does leg drive have to do with bodybuilding? Leg drive helps you bench more, which increases total volume, which increases your bench press, which increases your chest gains. So leg drive is totally fine as long as you're doing it right. The problem is lots of people do leg drive wrong, where their ass is getting off the bench and it looks like they're trying to, I don't know, hump their girlfriend at the same time. So keep your ass on that bench. Second thing I do is I'll set up my wrist wraps and my belt. Why do I like wrist wraps and a belt? I like wrist wraps because I have thin wrists, so it does put a lot of pressure, especially with the amount of weight I'm benching on my wrists. And I like a belt because it just helps me keep my core nice and tight. When you bench, you want everything to feel like one cohesive unit. If you're using leg drive properly, it literally feels like you're squatting the weight up as you're pressing with, again, that ass on the bench. Third thing I do when I set up is I'll pull myself in front of the bar. And really all I'm doing with all these pulling things that I do is I'm tightening up my back and practicing retracting my scapula, because retracting is another thing that a lot of people don't do correctly. So I pull myself up. So if this is the bar, I pull myself above the bar and I'm squeezing my back and lats, my upper back and lats, and I'm stretching my anterior delts. After that, I'll grab the bar again and pull my face to the bar. Okay, what I'm doing now is again retracting my scapula, rolling my shoulders back and down, getting nice and tight, squeezing my lats and my back at the same time. Next thing, I'll get my grip right. For me, I take in the more narrow grip. Chances are if you have bigger arms or strong triceps, you're gonna be more of a narrow grip type bencher. If you have like longer arms and smaller arms, you're not arm dominant, then you're probably gonna take a wider grip. Again, this isn't the law. Play with your grip to find out what works best for you. So for me, on the knurling, I go about an inch out from the knurling on each side. Okay, each and every set, I'm going through this setup. Even my warm-up sets. You guys want to get in the habit of doing this each and every set and preparing even warm-up sets like they're working sets. Don't just jump under the bar. Okay, so even when I warm up with just the bar, I'm going through this whole routine every time I'm benching. So again, an inch from the bar, that's where I like to grip. That's where I know it feels nice and tight for me and feels best. You guys want to also make sure your hands are even by using your thumbs. Let's say you take a wider grip, use your thumbs to measure. Make sure your grip is the same every single time. I can't tell you how many people I've lifted with where the grip's like all messed up, like one side's more off than the other. Do not do that. That's a real rookie error. And just make sure things stay consistent. After that, I wiggle myself into position. When I do this little wiggle thing, I actually got it from Brandon Campbell. He does it when he benches, but it's to make sure that both shoulders are retracted. So when you retract into the bench, up, back, and down, right there. And when I go down, I'm squeezing my lats. And that's where your shoulders stay. So you want to make sure that you're not benching with your rotator cuffs. Your shoulders should not be coming forward as you bench like that. They should be staying right back here and retracted. And notice how I'm getting that chest activation without, throwing my rotator cuffs out of a line. So you just want to keep your shoulders, everything retracted. You don't want your traps up. You want your traps nice and tucked and down. And then I bring the bar right here on my chest. It's kind of like right in the middle between, right in the middle of my chest is where I like to bring it. Take a deep breath, control it down, and bring it down. When you unrack the weight with just your lats, which is another reason I like to bench in the squat rack, because I can set up the bench height. I don't like typical incline benches because they put a lot of pressure on your anterior delts with their high angle, which is why I set up my own. Also, you can set up your rack height where you don't have to get out of form to unrack the weight, especially if you have like shorter arms. So when you unrack the weight, I take a deep breath and just slide it down using your lats. I stay retracted even after I unrack the weight. Or if you don't have, or you use a higher incline bench press, or if your arms are shorter, just have your training partner unrack it for you, which is another way to work your way around it. From there, deep breath, come down, and once I hit my chest, I'm pushing with everything. My legs, my everything, my glutes are tight, everything, and I'm just throwing everything into the bar. When you know you're benching right is when you feel your whole body from your feet all the way to the bar, everything's pushing that damn bar up. Everything's working in one cohesive unit. That's how you know when your form's good. So that's pretty much it, man. Outside of that, it's just breathing and bracing. With every breath, you should breathe and brace. When you bench, I like to think of tucking my elbows on the way down and opening them up as I bench up. So again, tucking on the way down, and as I'm benching up, I'm trying to split the bar. So bend the bar as you come down and split the bar as you come up. I notice that helps a lot too. Other than that, record yourself, watch your form. You ideally want like a slightly curved back bar path. So you want the bar to come down like that, and then come up and back. So you're pressing up and back. That's pretty much my bench form. Play with your bench form, and yes, it does take a long time to perfect your bench form and to get everything working perfectly, and it took me a while for me to figure this out for myself as well, but I hope this really helps. And again, after that, it's just practice, and like the video. See you guys in the next one. Much love, strength and honor. Aloha.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!